The room felt impossibly small, even though it wasn't. My palms were sweating despite the chill of the evening, my chest tight as if my ribs were made of ice. Across from me, my wife, Elena, sat with a glass of wine balanced delicately between her fingers, her eyes bright with amusement, but not the warm, shared laughter I thought I knew. No, this was sharper, colder. Her friends surrounded her like a circle of judgment, their voices synchronized as they dissected me, line by line, flaw by flaw. "Honestly, he's so stubborn," one of them said, smirking. "I mean, why would anyone put up with that kind of rigidity?" I kept my gaze fixed on Elena, searching for any flicker of defense, some hint that she would speak for me. But she didn't. She only leaned back, smiled faintly, and sipped her wine. Another voice chimed in, a pitch of cruel mirth I had never heard before. "And the way he never notices anything. He's practically invisible. Do you even know how it feels to be married to someone like that?" I felt my throat tighten. I wanted to interrupt, to shout, to defend myself, but the words lodged themselves behind a wall of disbelief. For 2 hours they went on. Every insecurity, every perceived weakness I had ever felt about myself, paraded in this room like evidence in a trial I didn't even know I was on. And through it all, Elena just watched. I had never imagined this moment in my life. Not like this. Not that the people I trusted, the people I called my family by choice, would tear me down while the person I loved most sat back and let it happen. Finally, after what felt like an eternity compressed into minutes, the room quieted for a brief, shaky pause. I inhaled slowly, counting to 10, and then I spoke. "I hear you," I said, my voice calm but firm. "I hear every word." A murmur ran through the group. Elena raised an eyebrow, tilting her head in a mixture of surprise and curiosity. "I won't argue," I continued, forcing the calm I didn't feel. "I won't defend myself right now because defending myself isn't going to change your minds, and it isn't going to change mine." They exchanged uneasy glances. Some smirked, thinking this was hesitation or weakness. But I wasn't hesitant. I was gathering strength from the shards of my own heartbreak. "But here's what I do know," I said, looking directly at Elena, my voice steady. "For years I believed in us. Believed in you. And apparently I was wrong." A cold laugh escaped Elena's lips, and the others tilted their heads, uncertain. "What are you talking about?" she asked, though her eyes no longer held amusement. I set my glass down carefully, the clink echoing in the tense silence. "I know, Elena. I know about him. About what's been happening behind my back." The room went still. The kind of still where even the walls seemed to hold their breath. Her eyes widened, but it wasn't fear. No, it was calculation. She smiled faintly, a practiced expression, and said, "I don't know what you're talking about." I stepped closer, each movement deliberate. "Don't lie to me," I said softly. "I saw the messages. I know the times you've left the house, the excuses, the little inconsistencies. I even saw the photos he sent you. I kept silent because I didn't want to believe it. I wanted it to be a mistake. But it's not, is it?" Her fingers trembled slightly around her wine glass. The circle of friends shifted, uncertain now, the power they had wielded so easily suddenly evaporating. "No," she whispered. "It's not what you think." I shook my head, a bitter laugh escaping me. "Oh, Elena. You've made it very easy for them to talk about me, haven't you? You've made it so everyone here thinks I'm the problem while you were living a lie." The weight of betrayal pressed down on me, a crushing wave that made it hard to breathe. The woman I had married, the person I had trusted with my heart, had built a secret life in the shadows of our home, our vows, our shared history. I remembered the first time we met, how her laugh had lit up a room, how she had held my hand as if it were the most precious thing she had ever touched. I remembered our wedding day, the promises we had whispered under trembling lips. And now, it felt like every memory was a knife twisting deeper. "I loved you," I said, my voice barely a whisper. "I gave you everything I had, and I trusted you with it. And you didn't even bother to tell me the truth." Her friend shrank back slightly, the tone of the room shifting from judgmental to uncomfortable. I could see the whispers in their eyes now. Uncertainty, maybe even guilt. Elena's lips parted like she wanted to speak, but I cut her off gently. Don't. Just don't. I don't need to hear your excuses. I don't need to hear the reasons you thought it was okay to break us. I see it clearly now, and that's enough. Tears threatened to fall, but I refused them. Not because I wasn't hurting, I was, but because I needed to see the world as it was, not blurred by sorrow. I loved you, I repeated, softer this time, almost to myself. And now I have to learn how to love myself enough to walk away. Her friends murmured, but I didn't acknowledge them. Their judgment no longer mattered. Elena's betrayal had broken something fundamental, a trust that couldn't be repaired with words or apologies. She finally spoke, her voice trembling. Please. I can explain. Save it, I said. I don't want explanations. I don't want your apologies. I want my life back. And right now that means leaving this room. Leaving this house. Leaving this lie you called marriage. For a moment, the world outside the room seemed distant. I felt every heartbeat, every pulse of adrenaline. I felt my body tense, ready to collapse or scream, but I didn't. I simply stood, taller than I had felt in weeks, the calm of resolution settling over me like a shield. I turned to leave, my hand brushing past the doorway, my keys in my pocket. As I walked through the hall, past the mirrors that had once reflected our shared life, I saw Elena standing there, silent, her face a mixture of grief, shock, and something like remorse, but I didn't look back. Outside, the night was cool, sharp against my skin, the city alive in ways I had long ignored. I breathed deeply, letting the air fill the hollows of my chest, letting it remind me that I still existed, still had a future, even if it was one without her. I didn't know what lay ahead. Pain, undoubtedly. Loneliness, certainly. But I also knew I had reclaimed something more valuable than any excuse or apology could offer. My dignity. My truth. And for the first time in weeks, maybe months, I felt the faint stirrings of hope, fragile but undeniable, like the first light of dawn cutting through the darkness. I didn't need her. I didn't need the whispers of her friends or the echoes of her laughter. I needed me, and that was enough. As I walked down the street, leaving our past behind, I realized something. Betrayal cuts deep, yes, but it also reveals. It exposes who we truly are, and what we're capable of surviving. I had survived. And now, I would live.